All right, I'm going to be doing a continuation of my shelter stories, starting with my second shelter experience. I mentioned the first one, like I said, it was the longest one, so that's why it had all these parts to it. This second one, I think I stayed at this shelter for like maybe 6 months, around 6 months. So it's not going to be as nearly as long as a story time, but it's still going to be like probably have several parts. Just probably. It may not. It may just be one part. Maybe I can fit everything in an hour, 6 months into an hour. Because like, as opposed to the first story time at the first shelter, like nothing much really happened there of significance. But still like some stuff did happen. So I guess I'll be going into that one. While I'm doing that, as you can see, or I'll show you, but I did finish the rest of my hair off camera. So, next time maybe I'll just film from start to finish. But, I've been dealing with that. I've been dealing with my feet. Speaking of that, after I left the hospital, because in my community tab, I posted like an update and everything, just so I didn't have to keep making videos. But by the way, I'm starting to post there too. I know I said I would wait, but I'm starting to post in the community page on my YouTube channel. So I'm new to posting there. So like, if you care to check that out, then that's where I might start posting updates if I don't do videos, and just pictures and just like stuff like that. Just saying stuff. I don't know. But yeah, so I did the rest of my hair off camera. I will just show. So it's all braids now. And I've got I did 20. So I always say I'm going to do 30, but I just end up doing way less than that. And 20 is only like 10 less. But it's not 30. So yeah. But at least it's done. And it's still it's not a ton, but it's still more than what it's still enough braids that keeps me satisfied and happy. Because I don't like just doing one or two, or I don't like doing several braids. I like doing multiple. That's just my personal preference when it comes to hairstyles. Anyways, I just mentioned that to say that just because I did finish the rest of my hair off camera, because I believe I promised you guys that I would do start to finish and film it. But since I didn't do that, I've decided while I'm telling my story time, I'm also going to, because it's still not finished, I still have to add my accessories. So I believe I was going to do the rings and the gold string. I'm going to leave the braid cuffs out of it. And I've got this one I'm going to be using. I just put everything in this bag because, there's nothing, it didn't come with anything to put this in. So I just had like a toiletry bag, and I just put everything in here. So keeps everything organized, and it keeps, because those are fragile hair, except some of those are fragile. So I'd rather keep them in something so I don't risk them getting broken. But anyway, before I jump into the story time, that's what I'm going to be doing while I'm telling the story, is just putting these accessories into my hair. And I did decide it is going to be all string this time, instead of like the cuffs, instead of the rings. I was going to do all of the gold string, and I'm going to do it on half of my hair. I'm not going to do it like on some parts. I'm not going to do it like all throughout. I'm just going to do it on one half, and the other half is going to be just braids, all just like boring, I guess. And I'm not going to do it. I was going to do it on this side. I'm going to do it on my left side, because I always do like everything on the right side. So maybe I should just switch it up, do it on the left side. Also, add something on my hand. But also, let me set this up and start taking down my hair while I'm talking. But I want to get into the quick hospital updates too, because I already posted update on the community page, but I'm also just going to be like talking about it somewhat too for a few minutes. But yeah, on half of my hair, I'm going to be doing the string. The other half, like, I was going to do it on this part, because on the right side, if you see like this part sticking up, like I said, like I cut some of my hair that was matted, and it was like a good chunk of hair, but I shouldn't have done that. I should have just been patient, because eventually, I didn't know it at the time, but several months after that, like, I would eventually get it detangled. So I wish I would have just left everything alone until I could get it detangled, but I didn't. I was impatient, frustrated. I impulsively cut that section out, and now I got this, like, I tucked it in, but it's got like this section like sticking out of my head, and it's just so annoying because I have to wait for all of that to grow back. That's probably going to take another several years to grow back, so it's always going to be like sticking out, especially since I don't have anything to like hold it down. So yeah, I'm just gonna leave it. I decided to leave it like that, but that's why I'm not gonna put anything on the right side. I was gonna put everything on the left side. So yeah, I'm just gonna this is everything. I got some dry skin, and I don't want it to get caught in my hair, because that's annoying too. I'm just going to separate the braids. I finished the left side last night. So what I always like to do when I get up in the morning and my hair is like all tousled up during my sleeping is I like to gently separate the braids or twists or whatever, so it's not all sticking together. So when it sticks together, like, it gets tangled and everything, especially the ends, because I tried twisting the ends, because sometimes, like, it's hard to braid the ends because they're just like kind of thin. So I just like twist them, but the thing is, like, because I'm doing this outside and the wind tussles everything up, everything got unraveled pretty much. So yeah, I didn't want to keep like twisting and braiding the ends, so I just eventually left them unraveled. So they look like this. All of them look like this. So it's like kind of annoying, but that's not the first time the ends have unraveled like that, and I just decided to keep it. So I decided to keep it like that, and they'll be fine. I try to keep my ends as protected as possible, so they should be good. So yeah, we've got 20 here, and I'm not going to count them because they're already like counted for. I got 20 braids in my head right now. So let me get started on thinking, should I tie the right side up? No, I don't need to do that. It's not going to get in the way. So I'm just going to keep my scrunchie on, and let me see how I'm going to do this. Let me get the string. I need my scissors too. So let me go into my suitcase. Which suitcase is it? It's the one with my toiletries. And let me tell you guys what happened in the hospital yesterday, because if you want to look at the update, go on my community page. I posted an update and everything. But when I left, I'm like, okay, they're not going to let me stay, so I'm just going to do this my way. I'm always sitting up, and I noticed like everybody else who, sleeps at the park, they're always like laying down in the grass, like I said, and I don't do that because I don't trust the grass. I don't trust what's in the grass. People take their pets to do their business on the grass, and sometimes don't even pick it up. So I just don't want to take a chance of I don't even walk in the grass. So I always avoid the grass, and I'm just paranoid about stepping in feces or rolling in feces or anything accidentally. So I just stay away from the grass whenever I'm in parks or anything like that. So that's going to change now because I need to lie down to get my feet elevated somewhat, and to get the swelling to go down. So that's what I did last night, is I decided to finally lie down. And so I'm like, okay, how am I going to do this? Because I don't want to lie in the grass. So I'm usually I'm in the seating area during the night. So I'm like, okay, while I'm instead of sitting down, let me go back to my area, but instead of sitting down, let me try to lie down. I can't lie down in the chairs, and they lock everything up and everything, so it's kind of hard to, I can't even position the chairs to lie down. So what I do, I'm like, please, because they have benches, they have chairs, so I'm like, please let there be like a bench available or something. And thankfully there was. I'm like, okay, by looking at it, I'm like, it's wide enough, big enough. I thought it was long enough for me to, it was big enough for me to lie down, but just barely. Like if I were to roll even just a little bit, I would fall off the bench. So I'm like, sometimes I like toss and turn in my sleep. I think it's rare, but sometimes I do. I'll wake up in a position completely different from when I fell asleep in. So actually, I think that's often. So I'm like, please don't let me roll around in my sleep and just fall off of this bench. But thankfully, I didn't do that. But so I thought it was long enough for me to lie down, and it turned out that it wasn't, but it was big enough for me to like lie down in, if that makes sense. So that's what I did. I was like, oh my God, thank God, because I don't want to lie in the grass, so this is like a good compromise for me. So maybe I'll show you guys how I set my area up and everything. But what I did, I went to the bench, brought all my stuff nearby. I put my backpack down first. I put it near the place where I was going to have my head at. So my backpack served as like a makeshift pillow, I guess. And it was a very uncomfortable makeshift pillow, but it was still something to lie on my head, because I cannot sleep on my arm. It's like uncomfortable for my neck. I can't definitely sleep on the bench like just as it is, because that's definitely uncomfortable for my neck too. So I'm like, the backpack was uncomfortable, but it was better than just like using nothing. So I used the backpack. It got the job done. I just had to turn my head, find a comfortable position. Next, what I did, of course, I have a blanket and it's chilly during the nighttime, so I had to use my trusty orange and white towel, my beach towel. Better than nothing, right? That's what I've been using all this time, to have a blanket anyways. Because a blanket's too much to carry around anyway, everywhere. Because I don't have anywhere to store that. So the towel that was gonna be my blanket again for the night. So I just laid out. Like I put the backpack down. I brought my suitcases as close by me as possible. I had my bag sitting down on the suitcase, my blue bag. But then when I went to lie down, I could already tell before I finished lying down that my feet weren't gonna be propped up, and I didn't want to like curl my feet. I like sleeping in the fetal position all my life. I like sleeping in the fetal position, but like on the bench, like it's kind of uncomfortable. So I'm like, okay, what can I do now? Then I got the genius idea of taking my suitcase and like, let me bring that around to the end. So if you could just kind of picture that I kind of elongated the bench, or I kind of made the bench longer by putting that suitcase there, so I could just prop my feet up on there, so I was just like somewhat comfortable, even though like the suitcase was a little bit higher, just a little bit higher than the bench, so my feet were kind of elevated, and they're supposed to be elevated. I want my legs to be elevated anyways, but it was kind of awkward. Eventually I fell asleep though. Like I was able to sleep through the night. I got up, to use the bathroom, went back to my area. Some people, they leave. I don't know why some people leave their stuff. Like, you may think it's like a safe, and that's not a safe park either, so I don't know why people leave their stuff there. Like, other people come to that park during the night. It's usually empty for a good reason, but it's usually empty. It's just me and a few other people there, but still, like, anybody could just walk in there, because there's other like homeless people in the area walking around during the night, because I'm awake like when everybody else is asleep late into the night, so I see people walking around. Some of them don't go into the park, but they're just walking aimlessly and stuff. Anybody could walk up, grab your stuff and take off. Like, you're on the street, and why would you think it's a good idea to leave your stuff? Like, I don't know, but that's them. Me, take my stuff anywhere that I go, even if it's just a few feet away and I'm coming back in a few seconds. My stuff has to come with me. I do not leave my stuff out of sight. That's anytime, even if I'm not homeless, just no matter how safe the area seems or how safe everybody seems. Anyways, like, I come back and I reset up my little sleeping area, and I took out my bonnet, because I'm actually gonna be laying my head down on this uncomfortable backpack. It's gonna be a lot of friction, even though I have my braids in. I don't ever want to sleep on my style or my braids because I want to last as long as possible. So I'm gonna get into the story, guys. Story time, guys. I just let me tell this side story for a few minutes longer. So I put my hair into like a bonnet and into the bonnet, and just like that was it. Like I didn't I kind of felt not at home, but like I kind of just felt more comfortable. Excuse me. And somewhat more normal. Not normal, but somewhat more like me, like somewhat more, I guess, comfortable. I hate using the word normal, like, because what's normal these days? I know I'm the furthest thing from normal, but I felt more comfortable. I felt more like me, and because this is how I sleep, with the exception of I don't sleep on a bench usually. But yeah, so eventually I was able to like drift off to sleep. So it wasn't like full 8 hours, of course, but because like sleeping in a park and everything, so not the ideal circumstances for sleeping, obviously. But anyways, I was able to fall asleep, and that's how I set my space up, because I'm like, okay, they're not gonna let me stay at this hospital at least for the night to get the swelling down, so I'm gonna do this my way, because I'm always able to figure out a way if I can't have things done my way. So I'm like, okay, I'm asleep on this bench, feet's elevated. If my feet are just off the ground, I know the swelling will go down at least. And it did. Like, I should have taken a picture, or the swelling is starting to go back up, but I wiggled my feet and everything, because another thing, the swelling caused my feet to be, and legs really, to be like all the way up to my calves, to be really rigid. So there wasn't a lot of mobility. I tried moving my ankle around in a circle, and I couldn't really do that. And this morning when I got up, I can like not only move my ankle, there's more flexibility in my ankle area, but also just the swelling went down significantly. That's the first thing that I looked at when I got up this morning. I'm like, okay, so this did work. And for some reason, it went down more in the left leg than the right leg. It went down in both legs, but more in the left, like it was almost completely gone. And like I said, it's starting to come back again just because I'm back on my feet again. My feet are no longer elevated. But during the day, I still like to keep it elevated. By the way, that reminds me, I gotta take my medication. Because, I bought it, so gotta take it. And I'm gonna do that on camera if nobody minds. But even if you do mind, I don't care. I gotta take it, and that's just it. And like I said, it's antibiotics for, whatever's on whatever that rash is on my leg, or whatever it is. If it's even a rash, I don't know. But here it is. These are hard to open sometimes. But yeah, I almost forgot to take this. It's like almost 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm supposed to take this twice a day with plenty of water. I only got like this much water. So I guess that's gonna be plenty. Gonna have to be plenty for now, because I'm not gonna run to the store, get another bottle of water. I'm gonna do that later when I actually eat something, get something to drink with my food. But for now, this will do for this little tiny pill. These are my antibiotics. There's only like 12 tablets. So of course, I can't leave a hospital without them giving me some sort of pill. But if it's gonna help, then it's gonna help, because I don't want this whatever's on my leg to get worse. So it's not the treatment that I was looking for yesterday, but it was something. At least I got those bus passes. They gave me 3 24-hour bus passes. That's awesome. I already used one to get back to where I am now, so I'm not going to use it anymore today. I was going to use it because I'm going to try to look up these resources, these drop-in centers, because like I said, I still want to get off the street. I at least want to get into like a drop-in center or something. I cannot get this open. Oh, here we go. Okay. So, top one here. So yeah. So I'm going to, what was I even talking about? This is what happens when I just do a couple of things at once. But, guys, what was I literally just saying before I popped my pill? So they weren't able to help me with that. So the swelling went down regardless because I was able to, as always, figure something out. But I need to stay off of my feet. So this isn't gonna last, like, it's not gonna last during the day because I can't do what I did last night during the day. Like, I just can't. So still trying to figure out some way to get off the street. And luckily they printed out like 10 pages of drop-in centers that I could go to. So I still have to look all that up because I didn't look at anything yesterday. So it's a lot to look through. So I need to just sit down, just have some time myself to look through that. So I'm gonna probably do that sometime today. Definitely like after this video, sometime after today. Oh my gosh, it's 20 minutes in. I am so sorry I didn't do this video. I just wanted to like share that not so quick update. Let me get some more water. But okay. So yeah. Legs were feeling a lot better, but yeah. All right, so let me get into the story time. The second shelter I went to, like I said, 6 months. And so I was there like almost half the time that I was at Pacific Guard Mission. This shelter was called a safe haven, and it was anything but that. But that's what it was called. It was supposedly another Christian shelter. So this was the second Christian shelter. I use that term very loosely for this place because it was anything but that. But we're going to get to that, right? But for right now, the name of the shelter was called a safe haven. It was on the west side. Like I said, it's still in Chicago. This is on the west side of Chicago. And I believe it was, I don't know how far west it was. I think I went pretty far west because that bus ride, I remember that bus ride was pretty long. And like when I would take the bus to and from that shelter, it was just like a long bus ride. Because I think at that point I was still in school throughout all of this, throughout going to another shelter, like going through all this drama. Like I was still trying to stay in school. So to and from school, to and from that shelter, like it was just a long bus ride. So it was on the far west side. It was a dangerous area. I was nearby, some shootings. Okay, so, and thankfully not too much other stuff while I was there, because I was mostly like inside the shelter. I didn't go out a lot because, they kicked us out early in the morning. So I would pretty much like jump onto the bus because they gave us bus passes, but I'm a student, so I had my U-Pass, I believe. Yeah, I had my U-Pass at the time, so I didn't need any bus passes at the time. I just swiped my U-Pass, like good to go. Some people, they hung out like around the area. They lingered in the area. I didn't linger in that area because I didn't have any business in that area, like in that type of area. So, yeah, I was gone. There was one time for some reason I was there, maybe because I didn't have a quick way out of that area. But I'll get into that. So for this shelter, like I said, they said they were Christian, but they actually weren't. They did have a program, just like the first shelter. They had a program, except they didn't call it the Bible program. I don't remember what they called it because I never joined that program. Because it was not the program that the first shelter was. Like it was the complete opposite of everything that Pacific Guard Mission was. A safe haven was complete opposite of that shelter. So, like I said, I forgot I'm going to be doing this. Let me finish this water. So I already know from how much time I spent talking on that side story. This is definitely going to be a second part to this. But that's okay. There's no rush. There's never any rush. As you can see, not doing anything these days. So there's plenty of time to tell a little story time. Anyways, before I get off topic again. So I didn't join that program. They told me there was a program. I never ended up joining. I stayed as an overnight guest. I stayed as that. Just like, let's just call it overnight, I guess, because that's what I'm used to calling it. I don't even know how I'm going to do this. Got 10 braids here. I did decide I'm going to put, if I have, I got to get my scissors out. I'm going to put string on all 10 braids. This is probably going to take a long time. But yeah, okay. Okay, I'm gonna get my scissors out later. Just let me do this one braid. All right, so I just stayed. I didn't join the program. So, oh, let me close my backpack. I got my medication sticky on here. Other people did, of course. I think I was told about what the program was like. You know, and even though it wasn't like a Bible program, it's still like they kind of did the same thing. Like you had to be somewhat productive. Like you couldn't just be in the program just to be in the program. And I noticed like the people who were in the program, they're like, oh, like, I also came to find out that some of the people there were on like house arrest or something like that. You know, like they had the ankle monitors and everything. I think I actually witnessed some people with the wearing ankle monitors, but I can't remember. But or maybe it was just I just overheard it. But either way, this was definitely like, you know, like I said, it was on the west side, so it was far from perfect. See if I remember how to do this. Maybe I just put the cuffs in and just call it a day. But no, the more I do this, the better I'll become. And I bought the string, so I want to use it. It doesn't have to be all the way at the top, I guess. Also, like the way I'm going to tie this last time, I think I did pretty good last time. I was able to stay on until I took it off. But I was kind of like being kind of perfect with the spirals, the pattern and everything. And I saw somebody, the way they did it, it wasn't like perfect at all. It was just like, they just like threw it on there. And that's kind of what I'm going to do. I'm going to kind of do it like in the messy, not like super messy, or maybe super messy if I like it. But I'm not going to do it like as perfect as I did it last time. Because I kind of like that look, like kind of the sloppy. It wasn't like, it was kind of like messy, sloppy. And it kind of worked too. It kind of looked good on this person's hair, on this person's braids. So I'm going to do that, see how it turns out on mine. Because who has time to just sit here for an hour or however long just messing with this string? Anyways, yeah, the people kind of just seemed in that program kind of just seemed like kind of shifty and everything. So I'm like, okay, like I don't think this is for me. I think I'm better off, and I don't regret that decision either, because even though I never joined, also they had like a program for veterans. I think there were veterans there. They had like something for them, or maybe it wasn't a program, maybe it was, no, I don't remember. But they definitely had a program for everybody else. So yeah, I remember like trying to find a job while I was there. Oh, I'm gonna go into like the job that I did have while I was there, because that was like interesting. That was my first, I guess aside from what I did at the Pacific Army mission, like earning that $200 stipend, which was probably like my first real little job. That was like my second, like I was actually getting paid, you know, actual money, and you know, it was like taxes, got tax refund from that and everything. That was like an actual job. Like I didn't really consider it a real job, but it was a warehouse job. But I'll get into that. I won't spoil anything. But I don't remember how my first day went at this shelter. Oh, what am I doing? Why am I putting this on the second braid? Oh, I can, no, wait. What am I doing? Let me start over. Okay. Actually, let me just move these out of the way, because that's kind of getting caught. Okay, that's better. Let me be quiet for a second so I can focus on this. Or I'm gonna be here forever. Let me just focus on tying this. See, if I was putting my hair cuffs or my rings in, my hair rings, I probably would have been done with this by now. Wait, hold on. Let me just kind of feel around. But yeah, so let me kind of skip ahead in time. Not too much ahead. And this was like, why does this keep slipping down though? I'm trying to put it like, I know I said I wouldn't put it to the close to the top, but I'm trying to. It's just not gonna stay. My nose keeps itching. And that is so aggravating. Why's my nose keep itching? So let me not spend too long on the program because I never joined, so I don't even know I can't even say what it was like. I thought it wasn't for me. Like the people that were there, like, okay, like I don't want to be surrounded by these people every day, like, because I think this is how it worked. Like I said, I think it was similar, like you shared spaces, a dorm with people. I know it was a lot smaller because they were telling me somewhat well, it was like it's a lot smaller, like you just have to share space with a couple people, not all these people all the time. Like get your own this and that. I'm like, yeah, okay, but it didn't sell me like they told me, like the Bible program. They sold me with the Bible program like pretty much right away. There's a lot of structure, and I'm a Christian too. Like if you didn't know that already, hi, I'm Kalia and I'm a Christian. But yeah, they pretty much sold me right away with that program. With this program, I'm like, no. So I ended up not regretting that at all. I still think I made a good decision in not joining that specific program, because I probably would have went through even more drama than I did just being a guest there downstairs. And their program was also upstairs too. But I never even whole time I was there, I never went up there, so I don't even know what the rooms look like or anything, because I never joined the program. And even they still tried to get me to join throughout my time there. They didn't ask me like every day, but they're occasionally they're like, hey, you want to go upstairs, because then you don't have to deal with all this drama and everything. I'm like, oh, well, not too sure about that. Okay, I know I was able to do this the first time, but for some reason, I don't know what's going on with this. I also had a mirror. Maybe if I stood up, it'll make it easier. I should be able to do the sitting down. I know how to tie a knot, so why can't tie? But it's harder because I'm trying to tie this from the back, and I'm trying to feel around. Okay, I think I got it. Oh gosh. All right, here we go. Loop it. All right, here we go. All right. All right. I think that's in there. No, that's not in there. Is it? Oh yeah, I think so. Is it? That is a knot. I just gotta tighten it. Let me turn this around. That is very much a knot. It's not at the top, but it's gonna have to do for now. So like I said, this isn't gonna be perfect. I'm just gonna not haphazardly, but just kind of just, because I'm gonna have a lot more string than last time, so it's gonna be seen regardless. But I'm just gonna oh, it still looks perfect, and I don't want the perfect look. I want the imperfect look. So let me just. Okay. I'm never gonna get this story time done. Oh, I don't like this waist. I can already tell this is gonna look super good, but I'm just trying to throw it around so it just doesn't look so perfect. But when I don't want it to look perfect, it looks perfect. When I do want it to look perfect, it doesn't look perfect. Oh, I like the way that looks. See how that kind of looks sloppy, but just it's still in my opinion, I like the sloppy look. Looks good on me. Better than the perfect look. Because I'm a perfectionist, but not today. I don't want this to look... It doesn't have to go all the way down to, like... At this point, I don't care. I already spent, like, several days putting these braids in. So, I don't care. Alright. So... let's get back to the program. So when you come in, when I come in, like, I'm like, okay. The first time I came in, I had like I said, the suitcase, which is a lot bigger than the suitcase I had now. Like, I had this one big suitcase. By the way, I left my laptop. Sadly, I left it at the shelter because I just could not take all that stuff. I had a lot of stuff at the shelter because I accumulated. It's 2 years. It's 2 years worth of accumulated stuff. So my laptop, I knew, because I had to bring the necessities always, and even to this day, when I leave any place, whether it's my apartment, it's shelter, and I want to take something with me, it all has to be the necessities. It can't be a laptop, even though that's important, but it's not a necessity. So it can't be a laptop. It can't be anything that's not a necessity. If it's not hygiene products, if it's not... I don't really like the way this looks, but that's going to have to be it. I have to leave a little to, like, tie at the ends. But yeah, I remember leaving my laptop and they're like, hey, you can, like, go and get the laptop. But, like, no, I didn't get the laptop. I just left it there. And so I'm like, you can have it. Whoever, the person that I gave it to, it was, remember, the lady who said, who's trying to get me in trouble all the time. And it was weird because she's like, oh, you're leaving? Like, you're leaving? And she's like, give me your number and everything. I was like, what? Didn't you want me gone? Or that's kind of what I gathered. That's what I got from you, that you want to be gone. So now you're asking for my number and everything. So I'm like, okay, cool. Because she wanted to stay in touch, obviously. And she's like, well, when you get there, like, call me. So now she's starting to sound like my parent. So I'm like, okay, Mom, like, all right. So I didn't mind that because, like, I didn't hate her or anything. Like, she just kind of seemed like, what do they call it, like, flip-flop. She just flip-flopped a lot. I don't know why she did that. I don't know, but I'm like, okay. I ended up not calling her because she called me when I was, like, already close to being there. She called my phone, and I think I never did get back with her. I think she tried to add me on Facebook, and I, like, accepted, but eventually I removed her, just like I removed a lot of other people who I just, we don't even talk. Like, why did you add me, and then, like, we don't talk? Like, and there are a lot of people like that. They just add me, I guess, just to add me, like, have an extra friend, but, like, we don't ever talk. So it's just like, what's the purpose for this, ma'am, sir? Why did you add me? So, okay, I'm just going to tie this off. In addition to my laptop, when I actually got there and I had all the suitcase and I had, like, all this other stuff, I'm like, I cannot continue. Like, it's not there. Like, they don't have there's no lockup room. There's nowhere for you to, like, put your stuff. When you leave, you can't even leave it. When in the sleeping area, you can't even leave anything there. But at Pacific Army Mission, you couldn't leave anything in the sleeping area either. Like, the beds were stripped, like, take your belongings with you for the day. But there was, unlike there, like, you can't go downstairs and, like, lock all your belongings up. Like, there's no storage space to keep all your belongings. You have to, when they kicked you out during the morning, you had to take all your stuff with you. All your crap had to came with you. So I'm like, no, I cannot, like, take all this stuff with me day after day after day, like I'm doing now. Like, because, I'm just used to, well, like, back then, I'm like, no, like, I can't do this. So what did I do? I threw a majority of that stuff away. So that included, like, pictures, memorabilia that I'm definitely regretting to this day that I wish I could have kept. But I'm just thinking, okay, like, necessities. So if it's pictures, if it's memorabilia, that's not a necessity. How's that going to help me survive? If it's not going to help me survive, it's a super tough decision because that's not replaceable stuff. I kind of like kind of try to compromise with myself. Okay, like, it doesn't have to be all necessities, like stuff that's not replaceable. Let me try to like get that too. Let me try to save that too as much. And like, I can't always do that. In that situation, I couldn't do that because it was just like, I think I had even more stuff that I do now. Or it was just like, maybe I had less stuff. No, maybe I have less stuff now than I do then. It's just that like, I had less stuff. I don't know. I ended up having to throw most of everything away. Okay, this just looks wrong. It looks good up here, but it looks wrong down here. That's kind of like the hardest part, is kind of like tying this end part off, because it just looks really wrong right now. But yeah, a lot of those pictures, I tried to save as many pictures as I could, but some of those had to get tossed. There's a lot of other stuff I had to toss that it was, I remember like standing or sitting there for the longest time in like the dorm area, just like trying to like figure out some sort of way that I could salvage this stuff and not have to throw away. Because like I said, it's gone after that. Like, I can't replace any of that stuff. You can't replace those pictures, all that stuff. But like, I can't carry it around with me either. So like, what am I gonna do? So I didn't have any other choice at that time. And I could see if I had somewhere to store it, and I didn't. So in the trash it was. But I just took the longest time. I don't know how long I stood there, like 1 hour, 2 hours, but it was just super, super, super tough for me to throw all that stuff out. But eventually I did it. It was done. And even though I felt so wrong after that, I also felt kind of relieved, because that was a lot of weight off my back. Like, literally, that was a lot of weight off of me. So I'm like, okay, that's done. So, this shelter, like, it was smaller than the first one. It was like a lot smaller. And, the dorms were like a lot smaller, because like, it's mostly also like, you had to be a certain age to be there. You know, some of these shelters, they have requirements, like there's like an age limit and stuff. So I would definitely be too old to be there now, but at that time, I think I just barely made the age limit. I don't remember how old I was at that time, but like, I just barely made it. I think it was like 18 or 19 to 24 or 25 or something like that. And I think when I left Pacific Art Mission, I was like, because I was there for 2 years. I got there 19, 20. Yeah, so I was around 20. Why can't I not tie this off? I might do this off camera. I might tell a story and just do my hair off camera, because I mean, either way, I'm going to end the video at a certain time, but like, I'm trying to get some hair content in there, but we're almost an hour, we're almost 45 minutes in. I'm still stuck on this one braid. But that's how it usually goes. And I don't think I'm going to go all the way down. Yeah, because I don't feel like, I still have to get my scissors too. Maybe I might cut it at the end. All right, so this is going to look kind of like weird, but I'm just going to tie it off anyways, because eventually I'll get used to using this string. But for right now, I do not care, guys, as long as it's secure. All right, this is not, oh boy. All right, let me tie this again. Let me be quiet for a second. Concentrate. See, my rat tail comb would come in super handy right now, because using my fingers for this small knot is just not the easiest thing to do. We're gonna make it work. All right, we're pulling it through. I'm trying not to mess the braid up too, but my braids have been through a lot worse than, See, it's just gonna... What's going on? Alright, we're gonna tie it off here. Because my hair just wants to be annoying. It just wants to stick out like that. Like all awkwardly. I don't know why. Okay. Finally, we have our knot. I'm going to tie this off later. And let me see. Okay, you see how like this is... Wow. I don't know. It's just going to have to stay like that, I guess. I don't know. I don't want it to stay like this. I guess it's gonna have to. No. Let me move on. So, what was I saying? I'm already getting tired. All right, number 2. And 8 more to go. Yay. By the way, I was in the bathroom, and I think this is just because maybe Florida has all these super huge roaches, because I'm definitely not used to that back in Chicago, because I guess the climate is just not conducive for them to survive like that. But anyway, here I've been seeing, it doesn't matter where I'm at, I can be like in the nicest areas, but like this morning I saw like this super huge roach right in the bathroom. So what did I do? Instead of running and screaming away, I'm gonna get back into the story, I promise. But long story short, I was thinking about maybe I don't know why filming was on my mind at that point, instead of just burning everything down and getting the heck out of Dodge. Maybe not burning everything down, but leave that to somebody else, but at least getting the heck out of there. But I need to go really bad. Like, I was so close to peeing on myself. Like, no, like the roach was over there. I'm gonna go on the furthest stall possible away from this freak of nature and just like do what I have to do as quickly as possible and just get out of there. And I'm just like, nobody was in there at the time, so I'm just like occasionally peeking out the door, opening the door, and like it's just moving closer. For some reason, it's moving closer to me. So I was thinking about just filming like a funny little video, like me versus this big roach, and just me going back and forth with this roach. Of course, the roach isn't going to say anything. It's just going to do what roaches do, whatever it does. And yeah, I was thinking about filming a funny little video just to like, kind of lighten the mood. Oh my gosh, this is not gonna... And I need to have the string because, like I said, I'll just feel more like me. But it's just that this... I think I tied a knot. Well, maybe tie a double knot, because I can't remember if I just tied a knot just now. Alright, so I'll just cut that at the top. It doesn't matter if it's in the front or the back. Alright, so let me just twist this around. Bring it around town. Bring it around town. If you guys get the reference, like, let me know. Alright, back to the story. And this is still not coming out. Oh, let me try something. I saw this in a video. Let me try this, like, if it'll work. I gotta be perfect with this one, because I wanted to just like wrap it around, like, no, like this. I don't think this is gonna work. Just kind of... All right, back to, how many times have I gotten off topic? Probably more than a lot more I should have. I'm going to end the video soon anyways. It's going to be another part, as always. Yeah, I'm trying to like, but this is supposed to be close together. Oh, here we go. And we're just going to wrap it around. Oh, here we go. All right. Maybe I'm not as bad at this as I appear to be. What was I saying? So, here goes my nose again. Why is my nose so itchy? Oh, yeah, I like this. Oh my god, this is kind of just gonna look so good. Well, hopefully it looks good, especially since I'm just doing it on half my hair. Half my hair is gonna like have this gold accent, these gold accents to it. It's gonna look so cool. I'm not even like even a quarter of the way done. I'm just liking the way it looks so far. Okay, why am I getting so overexcited about this? Okay, this is kind of looking the way I want it to. See, it kind of looks like one of my cuffs. Am I wrapping around the right way? Sometimes I'll start wrapping like the opposite way unintentionally because I get distracted and I was just like, wait, what's going on? And I have to unwrap it. So, all right. Oh my gosh. So, one of these days I'm gonna get my scissors and cut this extra string off because I'm kind of looking a little crazy right now with this extra string hanging off. All right, still got plenty of string. Let me wrap this around a few more times, but you kind of see what I'm trying to do. This is what I'm trying to do. I'm like, oh, that looks kind of cool. Let me like try that with my string and hope it turns out okay. You just got to do it like really tight together. Yeah, make sure your fingers are kind of close to this area. Okay, so this is good enough, I guess. And I kind of want to make this a little bigger. I still got plenty of string, so let me just wrap it around a few more times just to make this like this gold section like a little bigger. You know how they say less is more? And for me, that's always the exact opposite. So yeah, this is probably just gonna be 2 parts because guys, like, nothing really, like I said, nothing really major happened during these 6 months. This is like a few things, like probably I can count on one hand like anything major like that did happen. So I don't know, it's probably gonna be at the most 2 parts. But I'm definitely gonna have to make another part to this because I'm just like all over the place in this video. But this is always the fun part, is doing like, all right, this is done. This looks kind of cool. And this is always like the fun part for me. I want to do crisscross, but and I'm trying to, this is not the look that I'm trying to do, like the messy kind of look, and it's just like, it just wants to be perfect, and I don't want it to be perfect. All right, so again, back to the story. So yeah, like once that was all like thrown out, and I'm like, okay, let's just move on from this, and my load was just lightened just significantly. So that's that. So during a typical day at this shelter, like I said, they kick you wake up, lights on, same thing, like, okay, like I've been through this, like, okay. And I'm starting to like get into this routine, like waking up super early. At this point, I can't remember the last time that I was able to ever sleep in, because you wake up like, and for me, like, I'm starting to get up, if I can, at like 5 o'clock. So let's say, I think they wake everybody up. Was it 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock? No, I think it was 6, because I don't think I woke up that early at 4 o'clock. Because I woke up at least an hour early before everyone else, but I don't think I ever woke up at 4 o'clock. I think they got up everybody up at 6 o'clock. Yeah, just like usual. So I got up at 5. Not all the time, because sometimes I was like super tired. And again, I cannot stress this enough. I'm not a morning person at all. So it's a huge feat for me to get up at that time and be functioning. So I got up at 5. So by the time lights were on, I was pretty much ready to be out the door. And you can leave. I think you can leave whenever you're ready. So, like, yeah, my bed, because you have to like put your bed up and everything, or your cot and everything. So that's what I did. Like, I went to the bathrooms, what I had to do. Try to do everything within that hour before everybody got up and the morning rush came and everything. Because even though it's not as quite, not even close as many people as Pacific Garden Mission, it was still like, a decent group of young people. And like I said, at this specific shelter, like, you can't be like whatever age. And for my program, I say program, but yeah, like for where my section, you can't be any age and like be in here. So I was young enough, just barely. I think by the following year, like, I would have been too old to be in the program. But turns out I didn't even stay a year, so that didn't even matter, because they drove me crazy enough to leave a lot shorter than that. But yeah, this is all young people there, like, no, like, not before, like, a range of different ages, not 50s, 60s, 70s. It was just like that age range, I think 18 or 19 to 24 or 25 or something, or 26, not 20, I don't know, I think it was 24 was the cutoff age. And so yeah, that's why I fit. Like, I was way under, but yeah. So I got up like 5, and usually my cot, because we didn't have beds, we had cots, and it was put away, blankets folded and everything, because they washed the linen and everything. Oh my gosh. Okay, this isn't like looking quite the way, but I like it. Kind of gives like why did I almost say reggae? I don't know, maybe it looks, I don't think this looks reggae, but it's like, I don't know, I like the way it looks, so that's all that matters. I don't know what it looks like, but I like it. But I guess I'm not going to go all the way down to the ends. I guess it's just going to be how it's going to be, like halfway, or I'm going to just get a longer string. See, if I have my scissors, then I can cut what I needed. So I need to get my scissors out right after this one. But I'm not going to add anything to these two. I'm just going to leave it as it is, because this one is like almost like down. But I need to do something about this part, because I don't like the way, I got to do something about that. But this one's okay. I'm not going to add any more string to this. But I'm going to tie it off. Let's see. Let me unwrap this. I'll leave a little gap here. Kind of like push it in a little here. I'm going to try to knot it off here. Trying to loosen that. I'm just talking myself through this. All right, here we go. It's coming out there. Okay, but that's not a knot. Ooh. Oh my God. Trying to knot this, and it's not knotting. Well, maybe it'll stay like this. I don't know. But no, I want to knot. So let me loop this again. But so yeah, that's in the morning. And so I'm usually at the cafeteria like before everybody else. Now, there have been some rare occasions that I have overslept, depending on how exhausted I am during the day, or how late I get to bed, because the curfew there is 10 o'clock. So sometimes I'll be there like before, I'm usually there like before curfew. Because like I'm still in school, but like, at that time I just got there before curfew. So I'm like in my cot and just like in bed, usually on my phone, doing whatever I'm doing, until lights out, and I'm up for a little bit, and then I go to bed. Why isn't this? And see, when you knot it off, it's not supposed to. The way I'm feeling right now, luckily I got enough, or a decent amount of sleep. All right, here's what I have to do. All right, I'm acting like I don't know how to tie a knot. I don't know if it's just like the string that's throwing me off, because these aren't shoelaces. This is like, all right, here we go. There, done. And now I'm going, don't do this. Don't do it. Just stay like this. Oh, no. Okay, this is good. This is good. All right, I'm trying to tighten this. This is gonna have to be okay. All right, see, I was not like sticking out, so I'm already exhausted. That's just the second one. But at least I've got some string in there. Because my braids are just, I hate when my braids look plain. I usually try to dress them up. All right, let me get my scissors. I hate taking my scissors out because they're just like packed away. It's not like I don't have them like in my, just like out there. It's just like packed away. But let me get them. All right. My hygiene is in this suitcase. I keep having to remember, like, since everything is like color coded, like my suitcase are different colors. One's blue, one's black. I'll just like color code it, like blue hygiene, black clothes. Okay. Sometimes I forget. Anyways, all right. So I'm in the cafeteria, blah, blah, blah. Like, a typical day is like pretty boring. Oh my God, I'm over an hour. All right, let me end it here. I'm gonna do part 2. Forgive me, I'm just like tired, I guess. Like, it's taking longer than usual. I'm gonna cut this excess string off. I'm gonna do something about this end, and then I will rejoin you for a part 2. So stay tuned or don't. Either way, I'll be back with part 2. Bye.